Hey guys, good afternoon. This is Coach Bill with Bill Mabry Online Coaching. Hope you guys are having a great Monday afternoon. And it is a little later. I normally don't do videos this late, but this topic came up yesterday at church, and I thought I better get it out there before I forgot. So what happened was, first of all, the topic today is the dark side of a sugar known as fructose. Some of you may already know that there are three types of sugars that are in fruit, and one of those types of sugar is fructose. But there is a dark side to it. And those of you that follow me know that Emily and I promote high good dietary fat, low carb meals, and we incorporate it with intermittent and extended fastings. And on our online personal coaching platform, guys, one of the first things I do when I start with a new client who is trying to reverse type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, or they're looking to lose that unwanted belly fat or body fat. And one of the first things I do is I will completely eliminate fruit from their meal plan for a while, and that's all because of fructose. But it's only temporarily when it comes to fruit. But there's also another type of fructose that is in a lot of your processed foods that is dangerous for those people that have diabetes or fatty liver disease. And now science is showing how that fructose syrup actually reacts to cancer tumors as well. And so because fruit, now the sugar in fruit is what people call it a natural sugar, and the body recognizes it as a type of energy. But it's like anything else, too much of one thing can cause issues. And when you're dealing with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, or if you're overweight, then the natural sugar in fruit is actually going to sabotage the root cause of what's causing you to have type 2 diabetes and what's causing you to keep gaining that unwanted body fat. And that fructose in the fruit is going to have a reaction to your hormone known as insulin. Insulin is a hormone known to store fat. So what it does, it actually causes your insulin level to spike for a long period of time. And then if you're eating multiple fruits per day, multiple times a day, you're actually going to keep that insulin hormone spiked all day long. And what fructose or sugar that you don't use up for energy that's in your blood is going to be stored as body fat. That's how it works. Now, the difference between sugar fructose and the fructose syrup that's in the processed foods is that the fructose syrup itself is dangerous no matter what. You've got to stay away from that all the time. So whenever you're buying foods, you got to check to make sure there's no fructose syrup in it, because that is going to cause you to have some type of side effect, especially if you have type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, or if you're obese. But the fructose in fruit is actually good for you in moderation after you've reversed your type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, and after you've reached your fat loss goals. Then you can incorporate certain fruits back into your diet that are known as low glycemic fruits, and those are most all your berries. But not until you've completely controlled your type 2 diabetes or your fatty liver disease. That's the misunderstanding, and most doctors don't have the nutritional background to explain this to you if you're there for type 2 diabetes or obesity. They don't have the nutritional background to tell you to get off of all fruit for the time being. and then completely stay away from the processed fructose syrup that's in most all of the ultra processed foods that people are buying nowadays. But I took, there's two particular scientific case studies that were published not too long ago. One was published in June of 2020, and it was published in the Genes and Disease. And this one was titled "The Dark Face of Fructose as a Tumor Promoter." And this is what it said in the body of that clinical case study that was published. It says, ironically, fructose is a major contender to our westernized modern diet throughout the globe, and is eventually implicated as an underlying cause in the development of metabolic syndrome and various cancers. Guys, you got to stay away from the fructose syrup. When you have a medical issue, and you're like type 2 diabetes and fatty liver, even though the fructose is in the fruit and it's a good type of sugar, you still have to eliminate it for a time being. See, what happens is fructose does not go through the digestive system. It goes straight into the liver. The liver can only handle so much fructose, about 30 grams. If you're overeating fruits, multiple fruits per day, you're most likely putting more than 30 grams of fructose in your liver. And what excess fructose you have in that liver above the 30 grams is going to be stored as fat. It's going to cause you to lose control of the root cause of type 2 diabetes and obesity, and that's your insulin spike. So you just have to eliminate it for a time being. Carbohydrates are converted into glucose first, and those are stored in the muscle, and you have much more muscle mass than you do the size of your liver. And so that's why there's not too much concern about carbohydrates, although high amounts of carbohydrates throughout the day will also cause you to have a high insulin spike. And what carbohydrates you don't use for energy in the blood also gets stored away as fat. The second case study that I found was the cancer and metabolism that was published in 2020 also. And this one was titled "Fructose Contributes to the Wahlberg Effect for Cancer Growth." You just have to go online and learn what the Wahlberg effect is. Anyway, he won a Nobel Prize in discovering not only what cancer really is, but how to actually reverse cancer. And so fructose, so in the body of this particular case study, it said the idea that cancer cells might utilize fructose as fuel is supported by this study. In other words, fructose is being shown to fuel cancer cells. That's why there's many doctors out there like Dr. Thomas Seifield and Dr. Jason Fung that are now using the high good dietary fat, low carb meals and incorporating intermittent fasting with those meals to starve cancer cells and that's with their patients. And Dr. Thomas Seifield from Boston College is actually doing seminars and showing other doctors on his MRIs of how he's able to actually shrink cancer tumors in brains by starving them, because both these doctors and other doctors have discovered that cancer cells cannot feed on fat, period. And what better way than to do some kind of intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting that'll starve cancer cells. So guys, I'm out of time. So I hope you saw some value in this. Go to my BillMabryCoaching.com website. Check it out. You guys have a great day.